Welcome back to Soccer Cards United. It's episode 282 of the greatest soccer card podcast in the world. My name is Jason. That's Enzo. Hello, Enzo. What's on the show today?
Hey, Jason. Today, that Lamine Yamal Super Factor sale, Topps Argentina Legends set, and a quick check-in on Champions League Sapphire, Jason, for this year.
Very exciting. Let's hear that music. So let's start at the biggest story in soccer cards at the moment, the biggest story in soccer cards in a long time. This Lamine Yamal 1/1 rookie card. This is national debut, PSA 10, Auto 10, Super Fractor. This is from Will Stern over at Collect, which I believe is maybe their Whoa.
Jason, did we not say on a podcast, I would love to be able to clip it now, but did we not say at the time of this originally listing, I think this is, in our opinion, his best rookie in terms of it was,
I think we said that before the card sold for $130,000.
That's what I'm saying, though. We are
and
a bit
then
different.
It's now done 3 times that. So the market caught up to us maybe in the meantime.
We're good. What about we do? Every now and then, this podcast,
it produces.
It produces. That's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Lamine Yamal 2024 Topps Chrome UEFA Euro Super Fractor 101 fetched a massive $396,500 Saturday night at Golden, establishing a new all-time high for any card of the Phenom. Prior to Saturday, the most expensive public sale for any Yamal card was $122,000 paid for another Super Fractor in September 2024. If you don't count this card selling for $130,000 and not being paid for, or for some other reason, the sale not being carried through a couple of months ago. There's no evidence of that anymore, apart from screenshots, which I have. The 17-year-old's prodigy success in Barcelona wins in La Liga, Copa del Rey, and the Spanish Super Cup has driven massive excitement in the hobby. According to the data tool Market Movers, shout out to them, Yamal's sales volume has surged 585% over the last 365 days, including a 100% rise in the past 30 days. The Market Movers has tracked more than $2 million in sales for Yamal over the past year. Only Lionel Messi has had more transaction volume among all soccer players ranked on that platform. So Enzo, massive $396,000 sale for Lamine Yamal. How are you feeling?
A bit mental on a variety of levels, but I do enjoy that the market reflects it as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not just when you look at this in isolation, especially because at one point it wasn't paid for, and especially you look at the other super factors and the price range, it's an outlier for sure. But when you factor in what has been happening in his market for the last 2-3 months, it kind of aligns with that, which I like. I like that. Like, we've seen this at the lower end, and it's a bit crazy that it fell through and spilled through into the higher end, especially after the non-payment. I would have thought the non-payment could have really stained the card a bit, and when it went
scared people off a little bit.
Yeah, but what do we know about auctions, Jason? I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a mental sale. I do think it's his nicest card, to be honest.
Right.
Beautiful image. Spain. You got the fascinating that it only has a national debut, doesn't have the rookie logo. That's a huge win, I think, for the national debut.
This is really the arrival of the national debut, and the question that people are asking is this kind of like a big win for national debut, or are we never ever going to see anything like this again in terms of national debut? Like, is he the exception, or is he maybe starting a new rule?
I think he may have started a new rule, in my opinion, just because, I mean, it's very, Topps don't have the FIFA license, right? So the only times we're going to really see this is obviously, Copa America, Euro 2024, and maybe the Nations League, but not really, and then the World Cup. So it's kind of like, if this repeats itself, meaning, let's say in the next Euros, a youngster pops onto the scene. It doesn't even have to be as good as Yamal, but let's just say a youngster pops onto the scene, and they are also part of that tournament and they get a national debut. There's a chance that market sentiment might be referencing this sale and going, right, his national debut 101 is the one to be chasing. It's like this could become a comping mechanism to a degree.
Right. Yeah. This is
not
definitely
guaranteed.
Set a ceiling, or at least set a marker that you can kind of aim for with national debut.
It's a bit of a hierarchy. Now, not that it's going to necessarily, I'd love to. I mean, I'm sure we could track his Chrome to 50 of the same card, and then Topps Chrome, etc. But yeah, I think because it might put a marker down. Imagine if you're a big NBA, NFL, MLB guy that's not huge into soccer but wants to start putting money into it. And obviously, all the leagues, etc., is confusing, right? Champions League, we know the Champions League is important, blah blah blah. But it might just be as simple as, oh, you want to get their rookie in their national kit.
Yes.
It's like, and then it's like, if you think about it logically as well, it's like, obviously I know he had FIFA Select, but it's like, how many Spanish 101s are there versus Barcelona 101s?
Yeah.
And the numbers are very different. So like that might carry through where it's just naturally, it's like, it's actually a lot harder to get a rookie in their national kit, partially because you're not guaranteed to have a rookie year falling on a kind of national year where you even get a national kit. And then on a flip, I think that could all be in play, but I do think crazy.
Yeah, I suppose if you think of it like maybe like a Kylian Mbappe in 2017, 2018, you would have the Chrome and the Select would be the rookie card, and then the Prism, World Cup Prism that summer would be the national debut, I guess would be a similar situation.
I would say the national debut has to be in the rookie year for it to have that type of a. And I consider Mbappe's to be rookie year.
Right, I'm with you. Yeah.
If the Euros was this summer and Yamal had a national debut 101 this summer, but it wasn't his rookie year, I don't think it does that. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. We sometimes play this game where we say, are we congratulating the buyer here? Are we congratulating the seller? Are we congratulating both? I remember, I think when this sold the first time and generally for all the Yamal sales, I think we've been in both camps. I'll just go on a record and say, I think absolutely congratulations to the seller here. Okay. I think this sale is an amazing sale for soccer. I think whoever bought it has a very big set of balls, basically, or an incredibly big bank balance, to go more than 3x his next sale, his next sale down. I think the seller has done extremely well here. Golden have done very well here. I believe the auction, the 100 was very, very hot.
Yeah, part of me feels like there's still auction wars going on in the background.
I also feel that. I also feel and that may just mean that Golden was putting everything. It might not mean that there's any
and not necessarily negativity, but it could
be no malfeasance afoot necessarily, but it may just mean that all their marketing budget, all their contacts, they're putting everything in. They're like, we need to get this absolutely juiced.
Yeah, we need Golden to be the number one. We're not really playing around with Fanatics Collect, essentially, or anyone else.
I was thinking, because I kind of was thinking about this card and thinking about Lamine Yamal and thinking like, right, when we talk about Lamine Yamal, we tend to think about who can we compare him to, and we think about maybe Jude Bellingham when he came on the scene and all that stuff. And I bring this next player up because I'm guilty of this myself. I had completely erased from my memory, and I think a lot of people have in soccer, Erling Haaland's market a couple of years ago.
I was going to say, I feel like Yamal has, for the first time since Mbappe, properly broken through to the mainstream, the non-soccer hobby people, but non-soccer. But then I was thinking that to myself, and I also thought Haaland kind of did it as well. But I do think Haaland absolutely did it, don't get me wrong. But it's just like, I do feel like this has hit Mbappe level, and I think that's partially because the Euros happened. Well, although I think a lot of the crazy hype happened post Euros, which is kind of the weirdest part.
This is from June 27, 2021. So this is almost exactly 4 years ago to today. And this is a tweet from Golden Auctions. Look at that. That is the Erling Haaland Top Chrome Bundesliga Superfactor Auto and a BGS 9.5 Auto 10. And the tweet is final sale price $442,800.
An all-time record for any soccer card.
Yeah. So I believe now there's some questions over this card, this Erling Haaland Superfactor Bundesliga Chrome, because it's no longer on Golden's page of Haaland all-time sales.
Right. So it may not have been paid for or something.
It may not have been paid for. But if you look at this red of 5 even as a $158,000 sale, and you look at even if that $440,000 Superfactor rookie auto sale didn't go through, it just kind of gives you an idea of where his market was at in 2021. Now in 2021, we were in the middle of a huge boom. It was absolutely COVID boom. It was Erling Haaland. But I do think, like, if you look at the discussions about Lamine Yamal and all that stuff, I mean, this red 158,000 sale was from the 14th of March 2022. He won a treble a year after that. And then won the league, I believe, the next season as well. So, and I don't think any of these prices are now where they.
Yeah, no. If you look at Lot 41, it could even be the exact same card. It's definitely the same.
It is
the same card a year later.
That's
sold
right.
for 50 grand less. If you scroll down though, the City one, I remember that one being a huge sale. That City Superfactor 93,000. That's super healthy for a non first
August
year.
2023.
Yeah, a non-rookie, quote unquote. But yeah, I know what you're saying. Haaland happened during a big boom, so it's kind of. But then I just feel like we're in a boom right now.
That's how I feel as well. Yeah, I mean, I think I had kind of I had forgotten how healthy Haaland's sales were. I think because he wasn't like a full hobby cycle, and it wasn't like the hobby just was nowhere near as developed as it was now. But it's going to be very interesting to see, 2022, 2023. So that's 3 years ago. So in 2027, 2028, where these Euro 2028, say, where these Lamine Yamal sales going to look like they are, and if the money keeps coming in from other sports into soccer, it'll look like a bargain.
Yeah, but it's also like the World Cup is next year. So if like someone could, if you're making a ballsy play, it's like, right, he could have a great World Cup and I could sell this card potentially. I don't think that necessarily plays out. But like on a fundamental level, Lamine Yamal's talent is unquestionable. He's unbelievable. But like that's not I don't factor that in. It's like, Ansu Fati was unbelievable when and I'm not trying to compare the two of them, but Ansu Fati was brilliant.
Yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera. Like there's a lot of amazing players, but it's like that doesn't always transcend into cards.
No, I know. He's captured the imagination, and we've talked about it. We talk about it seemingly every week on the podcast, all of the reasons why he's captured the imagination in a way that other people haven't. But this sale of nearly $400,000, I don't know. I feel like this is coming up more and more on the show, where I just feel like soccer is kind of like is bursting out a little bit into the mainstream of the hobby, and it's. I think maybe. I don't know how to feel about it. I think maybe I've underestimated how much money there is. Usually I'm on Golden Auctions and I'm scrolling down past the kind of top 20 auction results. And now we're starting to mix it up with the big boys,
Yeah, and it feels uncomfortable, but like if you look at almost all of the basketball and baseball sales and NFL, it's like that's also very uncomfortable. You know what I mean? It's like, but we don't understand it, so we're like, I don't really understand that, but whatever.
Yeah, it's like the what was the one years ago, 2021? I think it was Mac Jones.
Yeah, the Mac Jones
and the Black Prism sold for about $300,000.
No, I think it was 100. Wasn't it?
Was it 100?
A little kid got it for like 100 grand cash or something like that.
Oh, okay, 100 grand cash.
Yeah,
but like
a bit different.
That happened, and then he didn't do anything, and then no one cared. So it's like, whereas for us, it's like this is our.
Yeah, it does feel like if someone spent 100,000 on a soccer card and then that player just retired, got injured or just wasn't getting game time, etc. We'd be fuming. It would be like almost embarrassing for us as a hobby. We'd be like, oh no, I'm sorry. Like, Joao Felix, he was never really that. Like,
yeah. We'd feel the need to explain it. Yeah,
just don't. Whereas it's like, you got it wrong. Like, or it didn't work. It could have worked out, but it didn't. And it is what it is. Like,
you look at like Wemby in basketball. If Wemby was to get hit by a bus in the morning and fracture both his legs and was never able to play again,
people would just be on about Cooper Flag.
Yeah, we just be on to the next one, right? That didn't work out,
Yeah, sorry to all that hopped on the train and lost, but it is what it is. Let's go. What's next? Whereas we'd be like, because rookies don't come around that often. We'd be like, I'm so sorry, but there's like, Sanchez, we told you when he went to United, it wasn't going to work out. We said it on this podcast. Why did you just buy his top score 2017?
Yeah.
Or 2018. And it's just like, it is what it is kind of thing. But I do feel like this is the most similar to Mbappe. I know Haaland did happen in between, and obviously Bellingham had a great moment, was nowhere near those levels because midfield player, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Despite his PR, he didn't quite get there. But this is like Mbappe. Like this is what was happening in 2018. This is what happened like when Mbappe did what he did at the World Cup, and then loads of money went into Mbappe, and almost church was created around Kylian Mbappe. And we mustn't forget that had a huge impact just on soccer, period, as a hobby. Like there was a lot of people that we came in 2020. There was a lot of people that felt like absolute OGs that were here in 2017 or 2018.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality was their watershed moment was kind of caused by the euphoria and craziness around Mbappe. Penetrated through their timeline on their phone or whatever the case may be. Like they got wind of it and got involved in it. And that's why you're seeing World Cup Prism boxes in Peru to this day. It was like part of that whole kind of moment.
Yeah.
And it's like, are we having that again? And does that lead to, don't get me wrong, that sale might go back negative on the buyer, etc. Like that's, I think anyone that's paying 300,000 is well capable of the risk, potentially, hopefully, Yeah. But and that's not a risk associated with his talent. I think his talent is there. I just think
that's. But we all know in sport that talent is not the only.
Yeah, you need to buy it, hold it, and hope he continues to do what it does. But that's irrelevant. But it's like I do think it's another soccer watershed moment. whether we want, regardless. Haaland was that as well. Don't get me wrong. I think it's not fair to disrespect Haaland. Haaland just happened to happen during a boom. Like around Haaland, you were seeing all-time sales of Messi's rookie and Ronaldo's rookie. Like so, that was its own.
And I do think as well, just to say on social media, like Haaland, the Erling Haaland hype in the hobby was bigger than the Lamine Yamal hype is. Not in terms of money, but like your average, especially in America, your average American talked about Erling Haaland in a way that they do not talk about Lamine Yamal. Like because Erling Haaland kind of looks like he could be a quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. And so he like has a kind of like, he looks like what the American market understands to be an all-star athlete.
Yeah, monster.
Lamine Yamal is more kind of something for the footballistas, more like it's a sign of a more mature soccer market that Lamine Yamal is being. And obviously there's the Messi comparison and all that kind of stuff. But like, this is kind of
a huge factor.
Yeah, it's a huge, that's
it's upsetting because a lot of people are like, he could be the next Messi. And it's like, you just don't even respect Messi yet, you bastard.
Yeah, you're not even, we're almost seeing, this is almost a vote of confidence in Messi's long-term market. He could be the next Messi. It's like, but you haven't even made Messi where he should be as the current
made Messi.
Yeah.
You're getting there, but you're not there, yeah?
I was going to say, so the Yamal, so like Erling Haaland's market, his hype, the way people talked about him was very different. And the fact that like people, is getting these big prices, but you're not necessarily seeing, it's just, he's not talked about in the same way as far as what I'm seeing on the timeline and stuff. People aren't like talking about him in that sort of like, this is the guy.
But Jason, it's like, was it the semi-final of the Champions League? Like, what caused the euphoria? Because like in times gone past, you get knocked out by Inter in the Champions League, and then your market's dead. Whereas it actually just continued and just got crazier.
I don't know.
What was that?
I don't know.
I think he just broke popular culture. Like I think that's kind of what happened.
Yeah,
but it's weird. Like it's weird. And like as far as this mega cracks, that's just craziness. I still am against the prices of the mega cracks. That makes no sense. There's a lot of logic and illogic in this, but ultimately, I think it is seeing that it's not just the top end getting pumped up. The fact that it's like everything's been pumped up from the mega cracks right the way through. Everything.
Yeah, from his like Sapphire base cards, and his parallel chrome parallels
stuff is selling. Yeah, very healthily in a weird.
What is weird is that like I don't think, because they didn't have a good Champions League campaign. They won the domestic competitions.
He was great in the semi-final. Like the first game was obviously everyone that was like again, just like if you were a neutral that you're into American sports and you're in the hobby, and then your friend is like, it's a huge game, Champions League semi-final, there's this young kid, he's great. It is one of those games where you could be dragged to a pub to watch, or you're in a pub watching American sports and it's on, and it was such a good game because it was 5-5 or something. It was a crazy game.
It was a masterful performance, and he was a protagonist.
But it was also like that. Not to shit on the Americans, we always like kind of force the Americans into their old ideology, but it's like they want to see a 5-5, and there was a lot of good scores in that game. That was a high scoring game. That was entertaining.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if you're an absolute neutral that doesn't even give a fuck about soccer, you could be thrown into that and be like, the pub was going crazy. This little kid was doing a madness. I bought his rookie. I don't care. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and he is that player. He moves people, and he has like that kind of power. He doesn't, especially when you see him on form. He's just like, it's amazing. But what's really interesting is he wins the Euros, and then even though they won, like that article there was talking about, and I'm not trying to like, whatever. He's just trying to explain what happened. But like the Copa del Rey, La Liga, and the Spanish Super Cup, like that is kind of an example of sort of like, I don't know what you call it, like post hoc reasoning. People are using that to explain the sale after the sale has happened. But like people could not, like, because obviously I'm a La Liga fan, like. And it's not as if people are conversational on what's going on in the Copa del Rey week to week.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's not what moved the needle. No,
that's not what moved the needle.
Additional accolades of like he got these titles or whatever.
Yeah, he gets the trophies. Yeah, but
they did not watch the Copa del Rey,
or else Rafinha's prices will be going through the roof.
That's right.
And
Nico Williams, by the way.
Yeah.
Anytime I've seen him and Yamal together, they're equally impressive.
I know. Yeah, and I can't think of one difference between them that would affect price. But anyway. It's just really interesting, and I don't know. I just think congratulations to the seller is basically by.
Yeah, definitely. But like you saying right now, Jason, in this hobby, Yamal is a sell for you. You're at any level of the card.
Yeah, I think given his market, you have to sell, because I look at Haaland, and after the year after all of his sales happened, he won a treble, and it was brilliant, and his sales stayed strong, but they stayed strong for that extra year, as opposed to
got stronger.
And I don't,
like Haaland, in fairness to him, like his game is a lot more boring. Do you know what I mean?
I agree, but that's not what people are saying. That's not what people were saying at the time.
No, I know.
That's and so that's another example of, it's easy. It's kind of, we know that now, but at the time people were telling you about Erling Haaland as if he was, Pele, and he wasn't. Never was. He was. I think Lamine Yamal, I'm not saying his prices are never going to go higher, but there's no denying in my mind that this is a selling window.
Definitely. We do have our big Yamal card. We have one big Yamal card. It's the Tops Now Net Relic to 25.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got it for €200.
Oh, good price in hindsight.
Yeah, good price. 220, I think. But like I think that's current price is still below the Mega Cracks, which like makes me going like, I can't even sell this now for what it is. You know,
no,
like,
you can't be selling. No, you can't be selling.
If the Mega Cracks are doing 7.5, there's a gold net relic from the Euro final, and you're telling me it's worth $2,000 or something. It's like, no, it's not.
We talked about in the last episode all the Mega Crack stuff. Maybe it was one before that. Anyway, a lot of conflicting feedback coming in off the back of that episode. A lot of people saying they were at the Iberia card show in Barcelona, and that the stuff was not freely available. There wasn't like loads and loads of Mega Cracks. But then other people showing
photos of people with 15 of them for sale.
Yeah. So
they're all ready for grading. Did you see? Have you looked at Golden Auction? The Yamals that are up there now for sale.
No, I haven't. I can get that on the screen.
Yeah, please do, because I was looking at that. Golden has some juicy ones for sale. They have a Pele Flawless 101, Jason. Would you believe?
Really?
You don't see them all the time. Yeah. The black, 101 is black and
yeah.
One of them is for sale. Did you see the Alcaraz? I know we're jumping here. There's an Alcaraz Net Pro 1 of 1.
Yes, I did. Yeah, unbelievable.
70,000. It's at.
Yeah.
What does that do for the tennis market? But look, we're not a tennis podcast, right? Let me try and pull this. I know you're pulling it, but I'm trying to see. Yeah, the soccer. It's in the elite, the June elite.
Okay.
I would love, by the way, I would happily take a Golden Auction as a sponsor to this podcast, because they're so juiced up. They always have good shit there. Whatever it's whatever's going on, it's like Golden. That's a brand I trust.
That's just a little taste of what they could expect.
That's what they could expect, because I genuinely I have a good time. Like I have never bidded on a Golden Auction because I have not got myself approved, but I enjoy the Zoom feature, everything. It's fantastic. Right, let's get in Golden. If you're listening, come on. Okay, so starting there with the Ultimate Stage, right? So remember, the first big Yamal sale ever was the Ultimate Stage. I believe it was the autograph version.
It was the autograph, yeah.
And it did like 30,000, and we were stumped. We couldn't believe it. We were like, that's mental for Yamal. Like, what's going on? So it shows what we know, Jason.
We had no idea what was.
We had no idea what was about to come. That's fine, whatever. Ultimate Stage, whatever, right? That's from Flagship. Like, I don't know what to make of that. It's nice. I like it as an addition to Flagship, and it would be really cool if getting the Chrome Super Factor from the Ultimate Stage, from the Chrome pack from Flagship, becomes a thing. Yeah. That would be great. First Chrome, technically. Stadium Club at 70,000. Beautiful image. Stadium Club. We love Stadium Club.
Non-auto.
Stadium Club. Non-auto. Right? Yep. 70,000. Yeah, non-auto 70,000. But then it's that one to the right. What?
Yes.
And there's this. Can I also say, back in the Yamal rookie year, like, I believe like that's from Merlin Euro Chrome, which I believe was a product that got scrapped.
It was, yeah.
Because it took so long to produce, and it was almost like we were oversaturated with 23-24 product that they said, I don't think we can put this on the market. I believe was the market can't. The market can't. Maybe it was just so late after the event as well, the tournament, that it was a bit embarrassing. Whenever there was unlicensed team in there, etc. But it's like, if that set existed now, the wax would be going through the roof, and it would be absolute pandemonium, because ultimately you can't even find really 23-24. It's like you can't really.
Mm-hmm.
You can find it. It's not that elusive, but it's like, I don't know. But anyway, you look at that card. First of all, I hate the way they've done this image. Like, I want to see both trophies. Do you know what I mean? Don't cut into, like, either make Yamal smaller or have the net relic positioned a bit different. Like, they've really prioritized the net here, because you're only seeing, obviously you're seeing the trophy itself, which is fantastic. But you got I think either whether that's man of the match or young player of the tournament, whatever it was. He was young player of the tournament. You want to that is an amazing image without the net. The winner's medal across his neck. It's a Chrome Super Factor. He has the Champions League, the Euro trophy in one hand, and his player, like, that's I'm almost like, get rid of the net. What's the net is ruining this card.
What's
almost.
the net adding? Yeah, sure.
If they kind of zoomed it out and like made him slightly smaller on the card, you could see the full image. Amazing. But anyway, this card is crazy. It's from Merlin Chrome. It came in Stadium Club, I believe, or Finest, or it came in one of the other sets as a redemption.
Yeah,
been redeemed. It's a Superfractor. It's Merlin Chrome. National debut is there,
which we've established can get you up to 400 grand.
Get you a highway up. He's holding the trophy in one hand. He's holding young player of the thing. He has his gold medal around his neck. It's an autograph. Like the only thing missing was it being on card, by the way. And there's a relic from the net of the final. Yeah, I do think the card's design is a bit upsetting, just with the net relic cutting in. But beyond that, it's an incredible card. And it's like, what's that worth like?
It'll be interesting to see, because it's so what have we got? 11 days left, so we're nowhere near the end of the auction, and it's at 33,000. So it's about 10% at the moment.
Like, it's a little bit more obscure, obviously, than Euro Chrome Superfractor is very much easier to describe. Yeah, this is a bit more. It's like, what? Like, I can't even remember if that came out of Champions League or what. What did it come out of? The golden thing just calls it Merlin Chrome. So but like, I can't remember what it came out of. It was, I think it was Stadium Club. It was a redemption. Yeah, it was because remember the Renaissance was also in there. Oh yeah, sure. They basically they kept the Yamal. So at that end, it was like, Yamal is hot shit. We'll keep his shit. Yeah, but we're gonna scrap his stuff out. Yeah, but like, I suppose that's less prospecty, isn't it? That's like post. He's won it now. So does that factor in? Yeah, this was not his. The Euro Chrome was made before he took part in the Euros. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But then that makes me feel away. But I don't know if it's positive or negative in terms of like, should it be worth more? I'm not saying it's tough to say anything should be worth more than the 300,000 sale. Obviously, what I would love to say, is this ending up somewhere between his other sales and the 396,000 one, because I would love to see some kind of gradation in his like. But yeah, I just say I see a card like that separate to everything else we're talking about. I see a card like that, and it's like, that's what you want to see. Take a moment in time and create an extremely special card around it. And then hopefully that goes on to do well, obviously. But it's like, I almost want that card to do well, because it's like, you can't just make that next year or in a rookie year of any, that doesn't, that is a specifically special card. But I do understand that it's not fully part of the set, which is important in collecting, right? It's not actually, it was part of a set of a release that never actually came out then, right? So that kind of sometimes adds a lore, sometimes kind of goes, whereas the other one was pre-tournament kind of thing, even though it came out during/after the tournament, I can't remember. It was like a pre-tournament image or whatever. And it was, he hadn't won the Euros. It was more prospecting. This is him after. It's the same thing with like the Ronaldo top Panini Instant or the Mbappe Panini Instant. However, the only difference is it's chromium stock, etc., etc. I don't know. It's weird. And it's a Superfractor. So, Superfractor. Yeah. But the net relic as well, by the way, like that, come on, from the final, that's. But I mean, like, I wonder, what is the, do they have in other sports, and you might not know this, I don't know. Like, do they have like, are there net relics in basketball? Because there's talking about famous nets. There will be, by the way. I think you'd imagine. I'm not saying that as an exclusive, but you'd imagine there will. Like, that is, let's give flowers when it's due, Jason. That's a Fanatics push right there. That's one of their patented product innovations. It's one of their better things they've done. Yeah, whether it's that or the MLB debut, etc., the debut patch, etc. Like that's one of, but that's why I want that one to do well, because it's like that actually was kind of creative engagement with. But this is what we're talking about with Lamine Yamal is, and it goes back to the national debut thing as well. To what extent are those product innovations working? Or is it just he's Lamine Yamal? I don't think no one is ever going to pay 30,000 for a net relic ever again. But like, I think a relic from the final itself. I'm not necessarily that it matters that it's that, but it's like if it's a rookie card. Let's say Fabian Ruiz scores they make it of him instead. But I don't think it. I think it would be one of the most expensive Fabian Ruiz cards, but I don't think it would be breaking 5 figures. Yeah. Like, I think like him being a rookie, obviously. Oh, yeah. Like if it was Mbappe in 2018 and it was a net relic and he scored in the final and he did everything else he did in the tournament and he's technically a rookie, then I think it's the same shit. But I don't believe the national debut logo is the reason that card has gone for that. I think it's more so the Spanish kit. It's not it's not that logo. It's the fact that that logo. Yeah. I go, the national debut logo, unbelievable. It's national kit, and it's from a set which was Chrome, Euro Chrome. So it's Topps Chrome Superfactor from a set in his national kit, Superfactor. How many Superfactors in his national kit does he have? Like, not a lot.
No, I know. I wonder as well. Like, it's so interesting to take him because we're so low on rookies in soccer. And what I really want, I would love to go to an alternate universe where he was as good as he was at the Euros and didn't win it. What does that look like? Like,
Jason looks like Saka.
Well, maybe so. Listen, we've spent half an hour talking about Lamine Yamal. We've got to move on, and we will after this. All right, Enzo. Topps Leyendas Argentinas. I'll translate. Argentina Legends.
Leyendas.
New set on Topps Brazil. Brazil.topps.com. You'll see this box as part of their ongoing license with the AFA. This is one of the classic 5 cards high end sets that we've seen from Topps. Presentation box, yeah. Yeah. How do you react to something like this?
Yeah, I think it's good. I like it. Oof, very good. I think I like it a lot.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's good to see kind of a licensed high end Argentina set. Obviously, Argentina doesn't have the necessarily the kind of depth all countries would have in that respect. Obviously, Messi, Maradona are.
Well, I mean, I think Argentina would say,
"Shut your mouth," Enzo.
Yeah, who has a better lineup than Argentina? Brazil.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that against the Argentines. My God. Although Brazil, you would have Ronaldo, Orline, Kaká, Neymar, listen. But in fairness, Angel Di Maria, they'll say.
Yeah, just to say, here's the checklist, right? So you get 35 card set. There are 5 encased cards per box. There are 4 guaranteed autographs per box. There's parallels, and then there's relics and auto relics. There are numbered parallels of Diego Maradona and Alfredo Di Stefano. And there are relics. There are Diego Maradona relics. Obviously, no Diego Maradona autographs. He was exclusive with Panini, and then unfortunately passed away. So there are also auto relics of Lionel Messi, Hernan Crespo, Walter Samuel, Gabriel Heinze, Christian Romero as well. And then there's a load of autograph subjects too. But Enzo, you wanted to focus on what the heck? You wanted to focus on
Adobe Generator. That's right. I wanted to focus on, Jason, the autograph relics.
The auto relics, yeah.
I think this, apart from just being like right now, Argentina and Messi, it's a match made in heaven. 3 international tournaments in a row. 1, the original at the start. Any of us that were there at the start of his career. Argentina was not a good place to be for Leo Messi. He was.
No, it hasn't always been so sweet.
Hasn't always. It did start off, I believe, with an Olympics, which was good, and after that, it became a very toxic thing where it was bad time. It was a bad time for Argentina, but that obviously then turned around in the last recent years, and now it is his happy place. It flipped. It became his happy place to be. Yeah. But most importantly, Jason, part of that leads into, now that he's obviously won the World Cup, had a variety of other international success with 2 Copa Americas and a Finalissima, which I don't put too much credit in, not because he beat Italy, but because what's a Finalissima,
Yeah, it's like a Nations League. It's not
quite a Nations League, my friend, Jason. That's what I'll say. But I said, Jason, I don't feel like he has that many licensed Argentina relics.
Where the card is Argentina relics. And the...
No, because so Panini throughout the kind of 2018s and onward, we're using Barcelona relics in all of his Argentina World Cup cards.
Mm-hmm.
Topps did it for the team set, but that's it. Maybe in Lineage, potentially, I'm not sure. But basically, the long and short of it was, there's not a lot of, in terms of considering his career has gone on for 20 plus years. At the highest level and part of Argentina, there really is a lack of Leo Messi Argentina relic cards. This first one doesn't inspire me too much. At least it's not a complete napkin, but it's a 2-color. But I would imagine the 1 of 1 in this set is probably like the badge.
The badge, yeah.
I've only seen the badge appear once, I think, in a Messi, which I didn't look rigorously, Jason. I don't always look at the Messi relic market, of course. I'm sure there's some people that are going to be like, there's this very, very insert and flawless. There's Chronicles had this random amazing card in it one time, etc., etc. But from what we looked at, it was very much. Sometimes his Argentina patches came in with Panini product, but he was wearing a PSG kit or a Barcelona kit.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes he's in his Argentina kit, but then it's a PSG or it's a Barcelona kit as the relic. But all in all, in my opinion, there hasn't really been many, if any, but many beautiful autograph relic Leo Messi license cards. And we did a wee bit of research into that, and what didn't really cough up too much. I would imagine the nicest ones that exist are in collections that just don't go for sale, and we wouldn't see them. In fairness, I know like the old selects had a few beautiful relics out there. I don't know if, and Messi was in Argentina kit in 2015, I believe. So I'm sure there might be something very, very nice there.
Yeah, some nice, a couple of special cards out there.
A couple of special cards for sure, because Panini, especially back in the day, had some beautiful relics. But what I've seen was a lot of Barcelona stuff. And I haven't seen a lot of good stuff. Jason, do you have anything to show us here?
I have
pulled up something.
This, which is an Eminence, 2022 Eminence.
Doesn't do a lot.
No, highly uninspiring. There's a lot of stuff from Obsidian, but he's not. Again, your classic two color.
I don't want to just see that. Like, I'm hoping the top set coughs up something very nice. Because I didn't see a relic before the podcast just started, and I didn't love seeing just the two-tone. Yeah, obviously iconic two colors, don't get me wrong.
Fansmall, who are, I believe, a Chinese manufacturer.
His was so dodgy there. His was dodgy everywhere, don't get me wrong. The pen, I don't know. That's very bizarre.
So there's not a huge selection out there.
That top one. So this is like 10,000 for this. I feel like part of the reason that's 10,000 is potentially, obviously, the star. They've just won the World Cup. The star represents winning a World Cup. So that's obviously incredible. But I'm sure we might be correct in saying there's not a lot of Argentina patch autos of Messi.
No,
and that's partially why that did the number that did, which was 10K. That's pretty.
This one here, 11K from 101 from Immaculate 2022.
I will never be part of the team that give a fuck about laundry tag patches. I respect
kind of from before your time in terms of like hobby.
It matters in the hobby for some reason because it's like nice or something. I don't get it. I've never liked it. That would be like the least.
People want information on their patches.
That would be the least interesting part of a kit to me. And it became for whatever reason a symbol of one-on-ones. I have a Pirlo that has a laundry tag and I hate it. I love my Pirlo. Don't get me wrong. Don't be taking my Pirlo collection.
Be getting offers in the DMs.
Laundry tag has a like. Because I keep seeing it and people are like, laundry tag is so cool. I'm like, not really. I suppose there's only one laundry tag, so maybe it's a true one of one patch. But I don't never been for me. But anyway, again, I wouldn't value this, especially in terms of an Argentina kit. It's like, what are you looking at? A label. That's not really.
So you're saying you want to see from this top set, what you want to see is, I mean, in terms of an Argentine, let's look at this one. This Immaculate one, which they did the laundry tag. So what have you got? You've got the AFA crest itself.
I want that on any and every 101 for sure.
Right. So you got that for the 101s. You got this.
But like, I would take like the Adidas logo would be incredible. I don't know if there's licensing reason why they couldn't do that, but if the Adidas logo is small enough to have as a relic, Messi has been so tied to Adidas obviously throughout his career. So that would be deadly.
Yep.
His fucking number at the front, the 10, I think it's obviously too big to properly have in, but like even the name at the back is just kind of anything. The 3 stripes, like just give me something. I don't know if they can use
as much texture as possible.
As much texture as possible, Jason.
Right.
Less of this malarkey, particularly with 101s. But yeah, I just didn't see, unless it was unlicensed, I didn't see a lot of Argentina. The Argentine crest as part of a Messi logo, which seems a bit ridiculous considering who he is, what he is, etc., etc.
Yes. Let's have a look at some other stuff that we missed as we were away last week. So this is 24-25 Topps Bundesliga Chrome. You may have forgotten about Bundesliga Chrome, but Topps certainly didn't.
That's Bundesliga.
2 autographs per hobby box.
2
autographs per hobby box, yeah, according to Checklist Insider here.
Wasn't like that last year, was it?
I don't believe so. 2024-25 Topps Chrome Bundesliga checklist covers club stars across Germany, delivering rising talent, superstar names, and more. Highlights include a 1-of-1 Der Kaiser autograph of Franz Beckenbauer, on-card Jamal Musiala, which is also 1-of-1. 100-card base set. You got your superfractors. You do have some crazy inserts, was the main thing from this preview of Bundesliga.
Crazy inserts or crazy parallels?
Crazy inserts, yeah. So, honoring the perfect 23-24 season for Bayer Leverkusen, they get a special SP set called the Unbeaten, which
that's very nice.
It's a great insert. I think the Unbeaten sounds like it's been translated from German. Could we not have gone maybe Invincibles here or I don't know.
Undefeated.
I don't
Perfect.
know.
Yeah, I don't
Doesn't
know.
really work.
Well, I thought
Undefeated is lovely.
Undefeated. Yeah, like it's 34 copies. They're all 1-on-1s. That's deadly.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That's a 10 out of 10 idea and execution. I like that.
Oh no, sorry. I'm not saying there are 34 copies and then there's just the one. So there's 34 and then a superfractor.
These
They just have
limited to 34 copies and have just maybe, but that would be a bit weird. Well, I suppose there's not 34 team members necessarily. No, so yeah, maybe.
So, but then let's get into these inserts. So there's Buzz. I think we can say that's not great.
Not going to create a buzz.
This one here, First Taste, is like, what are we doing?
That's really bad.
This is crazy.
I like the spaghetti in the background.
First Taste identifies top rookies playing into the insert's name. The die cut design mimics a bite taken from the card.
I didn't even notice the bite taken from the top. Look
at
that.
yeah. I just don't like this.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, but like I've never been a fan of inserts. I do feel like inserts are actually supposed to be that kind of.
We have a long and troubled history with inserts on this show.
Yeah, we've never. I don't think there's not many inserts we play with, to be honest.
No, this Wild Jungle one looks to me like a graphic that you would get in a Crazy Golf course.
I got Crazy Golf vibes off that.
Strong Crazy Golf. I think someone from the top design team may have been out playing a bit of Crazy Golf and got out their sketch pad and drew a.
But again, like especially if you think of kids, like this is kind of a fun. Like, inserts are kind of fun. Like I know, like we're this very serious hobby, Jason, for the two of us.
Yeah, this
but,
is
like,
for grown-ups. Excuse me, I'm a grown man.
I think that is the point of inserts. Confuse me. Sorry, guys.
Just to say, it says here, perhaps the most memorable insert is because they take the content a little bit further. Perhaps the most memorable insert is Wild Jungle, complete with a leafy frame. On average, every third hobby box should have one card from this set, so they're 4 per case. And their base variations come alongside Chameleon, Cobra, Tiger, Leopard, and King of the Jungle Lion variants that add animals. This is crazy. Look at this, look. So there's your Wild Jungle, there's your Chameleon one. You can see Chameleon. There's 2 tigers in the tiger.
Look at the top right corner, there's a snake there.
The top right.
Yeah,
that is a snake. So where's the
That's Cobra. That's Cobra.
I didn't see the chameleon because it was camouflaged because it's a chameleon.
Is the chameleon in there?
Oh, yes, there's a blue chameleon here.
There's one just below the top scroll as well. There you go, Jason. Look at that.
Wow. Yeah. You got your. This is like a big. I kind of like it because they've pushed it to the absolute edge of ridiculousness.
I love it.
Yeah, I've come back around and now it's like it's so good it's bad or it's so bad it's good again.
10 out of 10.
They just Photoshop in some pictures of animals is
crazy. The tigers is nuts.
The tigers look nuts. So this is actually now going to be probably my chase for the 24-25. And then you have some others. People are enjoying this diamond etch.
The one before that looked well. Sorry. You skipped over.
This one here, Hobby Masters.
Oh yeah, Hobby Masters. That's nice.
Yeah. And then you have Ultra Beam. And then there are triple autographs. There are dual autographs. Oh, look at that. Haaland, Kane, dual. And then there's a 101 Jamal Musiala on card Superfractor. Okay. And
look at that. It's 6 numbered base refractor parallels per box. That's nice.
It's now telling me that there's only 1 autograph per hobby box. So I think that may have been a typo earlier.
I hope the 6 numbers is true because that's a bit of fun. But yeah.
So that's a Bundesliga that we also didn't talk about while we were gone. And then also
Wild Jungle. I want to chase. I hope that finds its way into other sets.
Yes. And then I don't think we talked about this on the show. This Panini Obsidian is back.
I don't think so.
But there's all sorts of stuff going on in Panini Obsidian this year. There often is. There's always stuff going on. The main one is there's vertical black color blasts. Okay, that's the main news from Panini Obsidian, which will be coming out at some point in July or August, I'm sure. Okay, let's do a quick check-in on UCC Sapphire and any other business after this. Okay, Enzo, while we were away, Sapphire came out. It was available on Tops UK at a price of £315 sterling for anyone that was in the UK. And it had 3 numbered parallels and 1 autograph per box. Have you been gauging any of the reaction to Sapphire? People seem to be enjoying it, or
I think they're enjoying it.
Yeah, I think so too. The main bit of excitement that I saw was a superfractor of this Infinite Sapphire.
Oh, really?
Kylian Mbappe, our friend, Soccer Cards HQ, posted this, hit by Cult of Wax.
Shit. I didn't see that. That's very nice.
That's very cool.
That's very, very nice. Especially keeping the Infinite part blue.
I'm like, really, I haven't been on board with the Infinite as like a kind of like a big chase that everyone loves, or you know, but this superfractor with the blue Infinite is very, very, very cool.
Yeah, no, that's a good design. If they could just add a couple tigers in there, you'd be golden.
Yeah, you're a couple of tigers away from really.
That's great. I didn't see that change.
Keep me interested. I mean, that's as Brad there says in the replies, full bleed.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Which we love to see. So
that's very superfactory as well. But then the blue just looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't such a blurry image, but I can still see how nice it looks.
It's very rare that we get a full bleed superfactor.
But like now people know the rest of the Sapphire has them in them for whoever else is on that checklist. And it's a bit of a I like that.
Yep. Definitely something to chase. I'll actually just check while I have the checklist here who else is in the Infinite. Because now it's like, now if there's superfactor Infinites, and people may say there were superfactor Infinites, you know, whatever, last year, and I just didn't know.
I don't think there was.
But I don't think there was, no.
Endrick as a rookie, of course.
Yeah. Kaká, Harry Kane, Phil Foden, Zlatan, Lamine Yamal, Mo Salah, Bukayo Saka, Kylian Mbappe, and Johan Cruyff.
I'm just looking at that Mo Salah would be different.
Yeah.
See, the Mbappe worked a lot because the blue complemented the white. I wonder how that would look, kind of. But I'm sure it would look great. To be honest, you wouldn't be complaining if you hit it.
There's actually, I like the Salah Infinite
image.
Right, it's gone. Anyway, the boxes are now going for £315 on Tops UK, so that's about $420, and they're selling for about $500 on eBay. So that's not a huge jump in value, but they started off pretty expensive in the first place. So that is Sapphire. Have you got any other business?
And now, gentlemen, is there any other business?
Not too much, Jason. We're flying to New York City tomorrow. That's why
I suppose.
This is a late. Yeah, that's right. It's a bit of business there. Yeah. It's a late podcast, and later than I hoped it would be, because I still got to pack cards and my suitcase, which is not the best.
Yeah.
You still need to check in, but that's neither here nor there. We're going to Fanatics Fest, guys. We're going to Fanatics Fest. We're actually going to have a booth if we get through American Customs.
Yes,
we'll have a booth at Fanatics Fest. Jason, as I actually have you here, should I bring the card stands? I suppose I should. Bit of branding, bit of
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll try.
Why not?
Throw them in a bag. We're going to be in New York for the next 6 days, guys. The next 6 days. Yeah. NYC. We're going to fly early morning.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, is it?
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the event.
Right.
We'll be there Wednesday, Thursday, enjoying ourselves in NYC, I'm sure. So yeah, that's going to happen. If anyone's in NYC, find our booth. I think we're 3,333 or 34, something like that. I don't know. I might pull it up.
Oh wow, we have our booth number.
Yeah, I might pull it up. I'm being foolish. You can chat, Jason, while
I'll just say while Enzo's there is that last week, I think it was, maybe the week before, I can't remember. It must have been the week before last. I did an interview with Lance Fensterman, who's the CEO of Fanatics Events, all about Fanatics Fest and soccer at Fanatics Fest and plans for Fanatics Fest Europe. That's available wherever you're listening to this podcast. So have a look at that if you so please.
How did you feel about him doing an entire podcast media tour? Did you see that? Did you notice that?
Yeah, he did mine as part of he was doing everybody's podcast.
Everybody's.
Yeah.
Our dear fans of Sports Card Nonsense didn't care for that.
If you've, I know Mike and Jesse were slightly, they're very concerned at getting something that he wasn't going to say on the other podcast. I can safely say that what he talked about on our podcast, he didn't talk about on anybody else's. So if you are saying, I've already heard your man Lance from Fanatics Events speak, check out my chat with him.
All right.
There's a couple of bits in there, including some gossip on Tops and FIFA.
Wow.
And that whole relationship, but you'll have to listen.
You have to,
to find out more.
Well, that's very, very, very exciting.
Yeah.
The our booth number at Fanatics, if anyone's going to be there, if you're going to be in NYC, Soccer United are going to be set up at booth 3044. That's 3044.
Wow.
Jason, that's something for you to remember when we are loading in.
Yes.
So 3044. Our setup time doesn't need to be disclosed. Everyone else.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's us, Fanatics Fest. We are going to be there for that weekend. So if anyone's in NYC, please pop along, have a chat with us. We'll have some wax there, not a lot, and we'll have a load of singles.
And it's going to be fun. Come and
hand picking at the moment. Come and chat to us and say, hey, I listened to the podcast and you guys are fantastic.
Yeah.
Please. That's what I want to hear.
That's all I want to hear for the weekend.
And apart from that, Jason, because I am kind of, as I said, I want to kind of.
We're under a bit of pressure now, time pressure.
Yeah,
so we'll do
a very quick one. We did a quick 30-day, a very quick, Jason, very long 30-day trial kind of thing at breaking. Two of us were breaking, Jason, for 30 days, which has elapsed, has stopped. Oh my goodness, Jason, look at that.
Yeah,
5 stars all around.
Yeah, we were on Whatnot under the name Atlantic Collectibles, which is a new brand that we are repeatedly launching.
Yeah, right.
all through the year. It's launched at the Dublin Card Show, then it launched on this Whatnot, and it may launch again and again and again until it finally takes flight. But yeah, there was a 30-day quick breaking trial. Enzo, you were breaking a lot of soccer selects. I know you previously said in the podcast that you felt it brought you closer to the products. Definitely. Do you have any further reflections on breaking now that we've done the 30 days?
It's a lot of freaking work, Jason. It's a lot of work. Yeah. I was going to say, if you want to put up our IG, we can show the people a few of the big hits. Look, it was good. It was fun. It was good. It was a bit intense. We have a lot to learn still. It was very gambly as well, as much as it's not gambling, guys. It's very gambling.
Yeah, of course it's not gambling. No.
It's not gambling at all, but it was very gambly, I felt at times. These were some of the kind of non-101 hits, Jason, that I had got through. People can see it on screen. Some absolute cracking cards. So that was a good thing. I was always excited at the end when someone hit a card to be like, was this an Irish person? Was it not an Irish person? Etc. Etc.
Yes.
That's been cool. I do think. I feel like seeing some of these 101s or golds, etc., at the next Dublin show is going to be like, that's kind of cool. You know, that is fun. But like we went intense with it because we went 30 days. We didn't do all 30 days. We were a bit choppy at the start, but towards the end, like the last week or two, it was like every single day, 2 or 3 times. I was doing like those shift work, etc.
Yeah.
So it definitely consumed my time. When I was kind of pushing that, but it was like, it was fun. It was enjoyable. It was great to see all the positive feedback. It was great to obviously hit some cards that are incredible. Lots of, I think 10 101s we hit, Jason, 11 101s maybe.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Well, I won't do the breakdown of who,
No, I mean, look.
That. I mean, who was opening Panini Select? That's the real answer. But no, it was mental. It was good. I think we will definitely incorporate it going forward. It won't be as intense as it was during that week, but I definitely think it will stick around. It was certainly successful. I just think in terms of like time consumption, we'd rather kind of constrain ourselves instead of being on all the time.
You made a very good point to me, Enzo, which was if we did a podcast every day, it would be a lot, less well received. And I think that was bang on.
Yeah, that's how we kind of like, and obviously breaking for the most part is every day. People like to be on all the time, etc. And we did that for the last 1 or 2 weeks, and it was just like I wasn't doing anything else. Like I was like, I need to do my laundry. Like, what is this? What am I doing?
My life is falling apart. Yeah,
I need to take a shower. It got very intense. But obviously that was part of a 30-day tour. I wanted to hit revenue targets and stuff like that, and see how test different times.
See what a kind of full throttle 30 days looked like.
Yeah, what did it look like, and did it make sense? And it was great, but I think there's more efficient way of doing it. But yeah, just for anyone, because a few people did pop in saying, I listened to the podcast, this is weird seeing you guys breaking, this is so cool and this is fun and Thank you to everyone that kind of hopped in. Anyone that potentially, Jason, is listening to this off the, because a lot of them were new people that didn't know who we were, and it was under a different brand as well. So they were like, I don't know. They were like, there was oftentimes people that were just buying into our breaks, were listening to like, these guys have a podcast, they have a card show, they have this other brand, Soccer United, and they were kind of going, what is this? I just want to break. Like, what is all this going on?
Yeah, I don't need to hear all about your kind of sprawling.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I do think maybe some of them are listening now that never listened before. So hello to you and thank you for supporting. But yeah. Someone did text me the other day, Jason, saying, when are you coming back? Because I told everyone we're going on a hiatus because we're going to New York City.
Yeah.
We're basically not going to be back on. I have a show scheduled for 1st of July to essentially say it's kind of a marker. I might push it back into the 3rd or whatever because the first thing is Wednesday, but it's there as kind of a marker to tell people we're not gone, but we're also not going to be here in June again.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun.
We had a plan. We talked about on the podcast before we did these this kind of trial month on Whatnot. Could we do it? Could we do the whole Northern Ireland thing and get that all sorted? And could we get some big cards in the hands of Irish collectors? And I think I'm right in saying that we hit a lot of big cards and they ended up going all over the place, but we did put several big cards into the hands of Irish collectors. So I think from that point of view, it was...
And we definitely could not break from Northern Ireland. And thankfully, we haven't had to.
No,
we wouldn't be able to.
We've knocked the idea on the head.
Yeah, like the first week was that. And it was fucking... I'll never forget kind of being in that apartment, Jason, with that weird AC that literally went straight into my being.
The bone penetrating
cold or
AC.
hot. It was just so bad. Shout out to the little town, of course. I enjoyed all the food we had when we were there. I'm not going to hold them against that. Why am my computer?
You know that place you said you got a club sandwich?
Yes.
I went there for breakfast the other morning. It was really good.
Did you get a club sandwich?
No, they were still serving, but they weren't serving lunch yet.
Slacking. You got to try their club sandwich, Jason.
But it was...
Bring me with you, though, if you are, because it was genuinely the best club sandwich I've ever had. But
right.
I say all that to say, it was fun. It was totally fun engaging with what is one of the most popular parts of the hobby.
Yep.
Instead of just speaking about it on a podcast, kind of understanding. The sorting and shipping on the back end of it is a nightmare. Jesus Christ. That is different. One mistake and it really snowballs. And it's just super, super time consuming because you don't want to make a mistake, right? But yeah, just all of that to say, it was a bit mad. It was interesting. It was definitely like another part. We've done attending shows. We've done, obviously, podcasts. We have an online store. We've done hosting a show.
Yep.
Breaking made sense. We've done it in the past as well. People know that are kind of OGs know that we've done a few on soccercardsunited.com. A couple Premier League Select and a Formula 1 case break.
Yeah. Turns out case breaks are actually pretty tidy in terms of like...
Yeah,
totally. If everybody's in for the same team all through
12 boxes. Yeah, like that's boxes, like that's figuring out how to execute on some like buy now case breaks would be. And I know it's like figuring out we did it in the past, but it still just feels like harder to do. I did a 3-box mixer that became a whole thing. I won't get into it, but I think overall successful. We won't be getting rid of it. We're definitely going to stick with it. It was good. I'm kind of hoping for some form of deal to be thrown our way. Give us a. I hear about all these deals, Jason. All these people are getting.
Yeah, now not everybody listening will know about these deals. We don't want to go into other people's business on the.
No, but I hear about deals, and we never get a deal. We've never gotten any form of deal. So I'd like at least to look at a deal and say, I'm not going to take this deal, but it's good that I was offered one.
Yeah.
But there you go.
So there's that deal, and then there's the Golden Auctions sponsorship deal.
I'm trying to.
You're fishing for a deal here, is what I'm getting.
Fishing for a deal. Hook, line, and sink. It's that time.
Yeah. Okay.
You strike while the iron's hot, Jason. And this podcast is red hot. Let me tell you.
All right. Thank you to everyone who supported us on Atlantic Collectibles over the last 30 days. We'll see some people in New York, I'm sure. I'm looking forward to that. Do check out that interview with Lance if you want to hear what he didn't say on other podcasts about Fanatics Fest. And other than that, we will see you all when we get back from New York. Goodbye.